Hi, everybody. Hope you're doing great. Hope you've had a wonderful weekend and are ready to start up some school this week. We have lots of fun ahead in PE. I'm excited about giving you an opportunity here to work. Remember your PE video, you can turn this on every day during PE class. Our video here is going to last for um, about 15, 20 minutes, something like that, probably closer to 20 minutes. And then you'll have time to look at your health lesson and go from there. So you don't have to look at your health lesson every day unless you'd like to. You can, but you do need to take a look at that at least one day during the week. If you are in grades 3, 4, 5, or 6, you'll need to also complete your health questions, which are on a Google form. If you're in my younger grades, first or second, you'll just look at your health lesson and enjoy it. Okay, so it's time for us to get our warm up. Remember, you need your space to be clear. Make sure you're doing your exercises in an open area, away from any furniture, anywhere you could fall and hit your head, anything like that. Make sure that someone else is in your home when you're doing your PE so that if something did happen, you were to fall or something like that, you'd have someone to help you and have a great time with this week. All right, we're going to start with our warm up. Go ahead and get up, get ready. We are going to have a 20-second clock, but for our warm up, we're only going to use 15 seconds of each clock round. So as you're going, you'll just use 15 seconds. Remember, our warm-up exercises are right here, and we'll go through each one together. So jumping jacks, we've got 5 seconds to get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm going to get out of your way here for a few minutes. Great. All right, we've got push-ups. Ready, begin. Great job. Squats are next. Get ready, begin. Fantastic. Crunches or sit-ups, get on that floor. We're going to use those bellies. Begin. If you put your hands on your belly when you're doing your crunches, you can kind of focus what's flexing. So it's a good tip for some people. All right, next up we have leg lifts. You're going to lift those legs up and down. Keep your knees straight. Start it up. Great. Okay, our stretches. Take just a break here for 20 seconds. We're going to do all of these stretches. Remember, we'll spend 20 seconds on the stretches that are two sides at one time. And if you're doing a stretch that has like one leg at a time or something like that, we'll do each leg for 10 seconds. Shoulder stretch 1. Begin. Reach up high. Make sure you're looking straight ahead with your head. Knees straight, back straight, breathing deep. Stretch up, interlace those fingers. Make sure you're pushing up toward the ceiling. Great. Shoulder stretch. Number 2 there. We're going to cross our arm across and hook it at the elbow. Notice that the arm stays right at neck level. So don't let that arm sag down across your chest or anything like that. Keep it up high. We're stretching that shoulder muscle and top of your back. Switch sides if you haven't. I'm sorry, I should have told you that. All right, it's time for our upper back stretch. Hands behind you. Push those hands down, stick your chest out. Take a deep breath. And next up, the core stretch. This is one where you put your hands on your hips, you twist to one side, 5 seconds. Twist to the other side. Twist to the first side. And twist back. Good. Hamstring stretch. We're going to bend down, keep our backs really straight, keep your knees really straight. Bend until you feel the tug in the back of your legs, behind your knees and in the upper leg. Hold right there. Notice he's not reaching for those toes, he's just keeping his back straight. All right, next up we have the glute stretch. Hug a knee. Do this laying or standing. Standing's kind of cool because you're balancing at the same time. Switch legs. Great job. We're going for the quad stretch. Grab a foot behind you, put your knees close together. Try not to pull that knee out like a bow and arrow. Switch sides, switch. It's another good one for balancing. Kind of see where you are today. All right, then we have the calf raise hold. This is just up on your toes for about 5 seconds and then relax for a couple of seconds. Then go back up on your toes. Then relax. Then back up. And fantastic. Great job. Okay, now I'm going to come back on screen here, I think. All right, maybe not, that's all right. There we go. Okay, so we are going to take some time today to work on hand-eye coordination. So as we are working this hand-eye coordination, we're going to be trying our best to get the most out of it that we can. So by that, what I mean is we want to see if when we're doing our hand-eye coordination, we can take our time with it. You can certainly pause the video at any time. This segment is about 13.5 minutes long. You'll see I mess up in it. You'll mess up in it. That's fine. But practice the things that we're doing. And if you run into something that is a little harder for you, just pause the video. Keep an eye on your time, though, and make sure you get back to your class for school on time. Don't pause it so long where you lose track of your time. So keep an eye on the clock. Okay. All right, we're going to get through and start this, and I'll kind of talk you through it as we go here. All right. First off, I have a bean bag. That bean bag is, it could be a stuffed animal or something like that. I'm just going to kind of wake up my hands. We're going to toss it up and into the other hand, up and into the other hand. Now, last week, we know that we talked about catching with 2 hands, very important. We'll do that in a minute as well. We're just kind of waking up the hands because sometimes a hand messes up like that. You want to kind of fix it, calibrate yourself, especially after you've been stretching and things like that. So now we're going to go into that 2-hand catch, just practicing tracking, which means watching that bean bag. We're going to watch it all the way into our hands. So as you're watching that bean bag, get into a nice smooth rhythm. Notice we're just tossing the bean bag, catching nice and simple. Nothing too high, nothing like that right now. Now we're going to go hand to hand. This movement is really, really important. The reason why is because even though it may seem like a simple movement, it might not be that simple for you, but it may be. It's still really important that we focus on moving that bag across from the right to the left, because it's telling our brain, hey, wake up. We're going to be working both sides of our body and you got to work together. We know that one side of our brain and the other side of our brain have to work together for us to really be successful in movement. So here, I'm going to toss it a little bit higher now. So we're going to watch the speed of that bag come down, and notice that I'm giving to the bag. Now, you might not have to do this to catch it, but this is a habit we're building. We're building something called muscle memory. And muscle memory is what we do when we are working on trying to get our muscles to do things kind of automatically. So while today it's a beanbag, it might be a baseball or a football or something like that another day. And so we want to practice giving to the bag when it comes down so that we give it a nice soft landing. It's also a valuable skill in any egg toss you ever enter into. All right, now we're going to toss it up higher, but go to the other hand. So this is a more exaggerated version of what we were doing before, going right side, left side, giving to the bag when it comes down, practicing catching with one hand. All right, so that's what we're doing there. Now we're going to go down low. And here we're going to toss that beanbag below our head height into the same hand. The angles are different here. So when you go and work on one side and then go to the other, the angle of toss, the angle of catch, your angle of sight are all different. So now we're going to go hand to hand. That's a different feeling as well. We want to be smooth about it. Make your arms work smoothly. You see, I have a little sway when I go. You can sway as well. Make everything as smooth as possible in your movement. That way nothing's hitchy. When we have hitches or little stops in our movement, it causes for some unnecessary mistakes. Here I'm being visited by Miss Gilbride, I believe, in the gym. She swung in to say hi, but we're going over our head, hand to hand, up top. Okay, now we're going to toss that beanbag up, and this time when we toss, we're going to clap. So last week we did a little bit of this. This week we want to clap. Notice I'm clapping one time and catching right now. We're going to move it up to 2 times in a minute. There we go. So as we go 2 claps, then 3 claps as we go. So you can move it up in clap number. See how high you can get. But something to keep in mind. When we toss a beanbag higher, it does give us a little more time, but it's not a totally huge amount of time more the higher you go, because the bag's going to fall down at a quicker pace. So you notice I'm clapping and then I start clapping really fast and then catching really quick. I'm going to try 5 here. Well, that's because the bag comes down so quickly, it falls faster and faster as it approaches me from its top pinnacle. So you want to factor that in. Keep your eye on that bag while you're clapping. Don't look at your hands. Okay, now we're going to work on tossing up, catching at the top of your jump, above your head, and pulling the bag to your chest. So toss up high, jump, catch at the top of your jump, and bring it to your chest. So toss up high, jump, catch, pull. Toss high, jump, catch, pull. All right, next step is called a quarter turn. This is where we toss the bag up, turn 1/4 around. That means just kind of a turn to your left or to your right, and then catch the bag in the air. So we're doing 1/4 turn. All right, next up we have the half turn. That's where I turn around to catch, toss, turn around to catch. So as I'm tossing and turning around, I'm keeping my eye on the bag, at the same time moving my body so that I can get in a good spot to catch it. Now I'm trying the 360-degree turn. So this is where I'm turning all the way around trying to catch that beanbag. Maybe you can do it as well. Okay, now we're going to balance that beanbag on our head. So you can walk around with the beanbag on your head. If you want to try and bounce a little bit with the beanbag on your head, that's fun. If you got a stuffed animal, it might be a little tougher. If you have a tennis ball, this is really hard. Can be done, but very hard. All right, I'm going to take it on my shoulder now. The movement, again, you want to move around kind of smooth. You can try and jump like this, see if it'll stay on there. Mine fell off after a few jumps. Bounce it on my elbow. You can do the same. You can jump, you can toss, bounce it on your knee. You can even bounce it on your foot. Do all kinds of things with that beanbag as far as bouncing. And you can bounce with each one. Make it challenging for yourself. See what you can do. Okay, now we're going to take that beanbag and I'm going to put it on my elbow and I'm going to kind of pop it up and grab it. Now this grab is an overhand grab. Notice that my hand came down on top of the beanbag. I'm using my knees to pop it and then grab overhand. You want to go with both arms on this one. So practice one side, then practice the other. Now this is called a snatch grab. So I'm going to put it on my elbow and without bouncing, I'm dropping my elbow and grabbing the bag. Now, if you have a stuffed animal, it's tough to do. A ball is kind of tough to do, but can be done. All right, now we're going to put that beanbag on our head. We're going to pop up and catch it off of our head. So use those knees to give you some force. Pop up and catch. We can do a foot where we pop it up and catch it. We want to find a place that that bag rests on your body, and we want you to pop it up and give it a good catch. Again, stand as smooth as you can. Here we're going to pop it up. There we're doing the double pop. So you're going to start on a knee, hit with the other knee, and then catch it. So here I'm going to do the same thing. There you go. So you can practice all kinds of balances and launches off your body, and you can go backwards. So you can try and toss it and balance it on your body. Catch it on your head. You can catch it on your back. Let's see how this goes here. Then down, catch it on that back. Then you try and toss it off your back. Up. Oh, well. Maybe you can do better. All right, so we're going to toss that beanbag. You can go off your shoulder, off your elbow, off your knee, off your foot, off your back, whatever you can do to make it interesting. Okay, you can also toss and bounce on your elbow. But again, do what you want to do as far as that goes. Okay, I'm going to switch out now to a tennis ball. So if you need to pause it and find a ball, something like a tennis ball. The tennis ball here, we're going to work same sort of skill. We're changing our equipment. So we want to think about that. We're changing our equipment. We're going to change what we are doing. So we want to wake up our hands to that equipment again, get our brain used to it. As we're tossing, I'm going to toss it a little bit higher, going hand to hand, giving to the ball when it comes down. So we're not being stiff about anything. Same toss high, catch, and pull in. Toss high, catch, pull in. All important stuff. We're kind of zipping through. We have the quarter turn with the ball. You can practice that. We're going to do the half turn. Notice you can go both directions, so don't get caught doing one direction. All right, there we have the 360 turn, full turnaround. All right, we're going to take that ball now, and we're going to go in front of our body and go as quick as you can, hand to hand. We're moving up high. Notice I'm not looking at the ball here. I've got to have kind of a sense about it. If you need to look at it, it's okay. Down low, tossing that ball, you see how it can get away. It's different feeling. It's a different angle. So you want to kind of take that into consideration as you're playing. All right, now we're going to talk about underhand toss and catch. It's okay if you have a stuffed animal here. That's fine. But you're going to take a step with your opposite foot from your tossing arm. Your arm is going to be straight at the elbow and come beside you below your waist. So as you go to toss underhand, you want to step with your opposite foot. That's the foot opposite from your tossing hand. You're going to swing that arm straight below your waist and through. So you're going to step, bring your arm back straight, and then swing it through and release the ball where it needs to be released. So if you're tossing at a high target, you would release it just above your waist level. If you're tossing at a lower target, you're going to try to have that tossed down lower. So we're going to see what kind of tossing we can get to there. I'm tossing off of a wall right about shoulder height for me. So I'm stepping with my opposite foot and tossing. Now, if we want to step and toss at a target, we can do this with a beanbag or a ball, but you want to pick something. I've got a bucket here. I'm going to toss in that bucket. Now we're talking about touch. So I'm very close to the target. So I'm got a very light arm that I'm going to just lightly toss that beanbag, still keeping it straight. I'm not going to bend my elbow and keep it straight, but as I get it in that bucket or to my target, it could be a line, it could be a spot on the floor, I'm going to step back from it. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but this time my arm has to swing back a little further, and I have to make for a good toss. My eye is on my target when I toss that way. Okay, I'm going to get the tennis ball now, and here I'm going to aim that tennis ball at a spot on the wall. So this is where we're going to release. We're going to work on where we're releasing that ball and how hard we're going to release it. If you're missing a target, it's probably has to do with your release. So are you releasing the ball at the right spot? If your ball is going too high, you're releasing it too late. If your ball is going too low, you're releasing it too early. So here I'm aiming at a higher target, and so I'm going to release the ball a little bit higher than I was when I was aiming at the lower target. All right, now just remember, your arm needs to stay straight. It goes behind you. You step with your opposite foot. You swing through with your arm. That's a skill that we need to have for all kinds of things in throwing sports, but also when it comes to bowling, things like that, where we are working on skills where we need to aim with an underhand toss. Okay, so this is where we are going to stop with our online work. Every day this week, I'd like for you to pull up your PE video, do your warm-up, do your stretches, work on these skills that we were working on there with the hand-eye coordination. Practice those, get really good at them, because as we continue on, if you have these in your toolbox and you can use them without thinking about them, building that muscle memory, you're going to do really well at the next level of things. So for instance, if you're a kid that knows how to throw, catch really well, when we play a game all together, your brain power is going to be toward thinking about strategy for the game instead of thinking about, oh, I got to move my hand here and catch here. You want to kind of have the catching and tossing automatic. And the only way we get it there is by practice. So practicing all the time. So when you are bored, you can take a ball out, just start doing some of these things. It's going to build your skill. Even the pros practice these things all the time. So enjoy. Don't forget, if when you go and finish this video, you can take a look at the health slideshow just one time this week. Take a look at it. And if you're in 3rd grade through 5th grade or 6th grade, you're going to want to also complete your questions that are on this PE classroom tab, classwork tab. All right, have a wonderful week, and I hope you enjoy your PE time, enjoy the rest of your school, and I will see you on next week's video with our next topics. Take good care.